My daughter Savannah is the CEO of faking illness to get out of school. So when she does not feel like being there, she will go to the nurse's office and complain to them that she is really not feeling good so that they call me and I have to go get her. Well, one day after this happens, I walk into the administrative office and everybody is really concerned because Savannah is sitting in a chair like so dramatically like, hi, Mom. And like when I saw her, I burst out laughing. I was like, oh my God, are you okay? And everybody looked at me like I was some really bad mom. Like, oh my God, why aren't you more concerned? But as we were walking out, she was walking really slow and actually didn't look good. So even I was a little concerned. I was like, oh my God, honey, are you okay? Until we got to the car when Savannah looks at me and goes, you know what, Mom? I feel better now. And I was like, Savannah, are you serious? And she's like, Mom, do you maybe want to go to Starbucks and have like a girls' day? And I was like, honey, what kind of question is that? You know I do. My daughter Savannah is the CEO of faking illness to get out of school. So when she does not feel like being there, she will go to the nurse's office and complain to them that she is really not feeling good so that they call me and I have to go get her. Well, one day after this happens, I walk into the administrative office and everybody is really concerned because Savannah is sitting in a chair like so dramatically like, hi, Mom. And like when I saw her, I burst out laughing. I was like, oh my God, are you okay? And everybody looked at me like I was some really bad mom. Like, oh my God, why aren't you more concerned? But as we were walking out, she was walking really slow and actually didn't look good. So even I was a little concerned. I was like, oh my God, honey, are you okay? Until we got to the car when Savannah looks at me and goes, you know what, Mom? I feel better now. And I was like, Savannah, are you serious? And she's like, Mom, do you maybe want to go to Starbucks and have like a girls' day? And I was like, honey, what kind of question is that? You know I do.
Once upon a time, long ago, there was a young woman who left her home to collect herbs and mushrooms from a local forest. With her, she took a basket and a chest. Once she got deep into the forest where her favorite mushrooms and herbs grew, she set down her chest, grabbed her basket, and started to collect. Clouds rolled in and rain came down, so she took off her dress, put it in the chest, and waited under a tree for the rain to stop. Once it did, she put her dress back on and once again continued to gather. A local forest god came by, saw her collecting herbs, and saw that her dress was completely dry. How, he demanded from her, how is your dress dry when it rained just a moment ago? This woman was clever. I'll tell you, she says, but only if you give me a gift of magic. Intrigued by this mortal woman, he agreed. Once she told him, he became angered, but he was God of his word. Wise for her youth, she was gifted magic and thus became the first witch.
I don't know if you're supposed to put your contour on before the rest of your makeup or after the rest of your makeup, but it doesn't matter because men are stupid. So long as you look like a newborn baby, they are willing to mate with you. I'm poor, so I have this contour palette and this contour stick. I regret buying both. I must warn you, the transition from beginning to end might be startling. First things first, check your flesh. As you can see here, I have no flesh. Contouring is a very dangerous game. Once, a man walked in on me while I was contouring. I had to pretend I was schizophrenic so he'd think that I was playing in cat shit and he'd leave me alone. It was a sad day. If the men find out we can shapeshift, they're going to tell the church. Eliminate the nose. You can pretend that you have no nostrils. Men will be bewitched and hand over their wallets. Men don't like nostrils. You want to look like a pterodactyl. Men love pterodactyls. Beautiful.
So a lot of people I know, they're like, oh my God, Lauren, you must try so hard every day. You must spend hours on your eyeliner to get it right. I can't believe you do that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It takes me so long to get right. I try so hard just so I can.
My friend's mom tried to stab me and my sister. Story time. Yes, honey, you heard that right. She tried to stab us with a knife. So at the time, me and my sister were 8 and 9 years old. And we went to the pool every single day. And we eventually made friends with this boy. We're gonna call him Tomato. Then our parents ended up making friends with Tomato's mom. Like, they ended up becoming really good friends. And after a couple months, Tomato eventually asked me and my sister to spend the night. Well, our parents surprisingly said yes. This is the one time, and the one time only, I wish my parents would have said no. Well, anyways, we went to the sleepover. By the way, it was our first sleepover we've ever been to. So we get there around 5 and we're having a blast. We made forts, we watched DT, we ate popcorn. For our first sleepover, it was going wonderful. However, the whole time we were at this sleepover, his mom was in her room. 11 p.m. comes around and the mom comes out of her room, smelling like alcohol. She was drunk. And she comes out and she starts screaming at us. She thought we were home invaders. Then she goes in the kitchen and grabs a knife.
Biatches, if you ever want to compliment someone but you just can't find something worth complimenting and you don't want to lie, all that you have to do is make a statement with excitement. One time, I had a teacher come in with very ugly shoes and all that I did was, "Oh my God, insert name here. Are those shoes new?" And she went, "Yes, they are. Thank you." Do you see what I did there? It's a scam.
This is why you should be very careful who you talk to online. A 16-year-old girl was home with her mom when she got a disturbing text message from a boy she had recently met on Snapchat. He told her he was right outside of her house, but when she went to look, no one was there. Frightened, she decides to sleep in her mom's room that night, and right before she goes to bed, she gets another text from the boy that just says, "I'm in your house." She shows her mom, who immediately searches the whole house, checks every door, turns on every light. There's no one there. So even though they're creeped out, they go back to bed. The next morning, she gets up and she goes back to her bedroom and immediately feels like she's being watched. She checks in her closet, looks behind her door, there's no one there. Then she noticed that the shoe boxes she normally kept perfectly arranged next to her bed had been moved. So she crouches down to put them back in order, and then out of the corner of her eye, she notices something. The boy who was texting her was under her bed.
Alright, spooky story. So when I was living in Delaware, there was this old farmhouse, really creepy. And me and my boyfriend decided to go up there and go drinking. So we get into the driveway, and I had a bottle of wine sitting between my legs. All of a sudden, the wine started spewing out all over the car, all over me. I freaked out, took the bottle of wine, put it outside the car door. We got out of there. Well, the next day, I went back to the house in the daytime, saw the bottle of wine where I had kept it, and the bottle of wine was full. Like, it had never happened. Like, it had never leaked out. I have a lot more stories at that farmhouse.
This boy lied about his age just to date me. Story time. So I ran into his cousin, who just so happened to go to the same school as me. What a small world. Anyways, we start having a conversation, and she asked me, "Oh my God, are you dating Binky?" And I was like, "Oh, how do you know that?" Because at the time, I didn't know that she was his cousin. And he didn't go to the same school as me. So I didn't know how she would have known that. And then she tells me, "Oh, that's my cousin." As we're talking, she says, "Oh, are you gonna go to his birthday party?" And I'm like, no, he actually didn't tell me he was having a birthday party. Weird. And she's like, "Yeah, that's really weird because it's like coming up next week." And I'm just sitting here like, well, maybe he'll tell me. He probably just had a lot on his mind. And then she says, "I can't believe he's gonna be 16 already. Time flies. We're gonna throw him a sweet 16 party." After she says that, I just look at her like, you mean 18, right? Like, you said 16. I think you meant 18. Sorry, there has to be a part 3.
Toxic friendship group, story time part 2. Wasn't going to do a part 2, but new stuff's come up. So there's a local lockdown where I used to live, and I don't live there anymore because I go to university. And they were like planning on meeting up, and I was like, "Can't you not meet up because of lockdown?" And they were like, "Oh, we just can't go to each other's houses, blah blah blah." To which I thought I was correct in saying, "Yeah, but surely you just shouldn't meet up anyway because then you're safer if you don't meet up." So we all argued, and then later on I went back and was like, "Oh, I've read the rules, fair enough, technically you're allowed to meet up, you're advised not to, but technically you're allowed to," so I hold my hands up. They literally all read and ignored it. So, pause if you want to read it, but I sent this message to the group and then just left. One of the girls who has literally never liked or followed me on TikTok or anything like that before suddenly conveniently found my TikTok and the video about her. So, like the part 1 to this video. So, that was convenient. But I haven't blocked them on anything, so if they have anything to say to me about how they've made me feel, I'll let you know.
Yo, I need to process this. So I was in the grocery store, minding my own business, as one should, and I kept getting stares, which I understand why, because look at all this. No, I'm kidding. It's apparently because my jean shorts are too short. It made me uncomfortable. But alas, I'm a strong gal, I just keep a-strolling. And I noticed that there's this older man who keeps a-walking behind me. And I'm thinking, what's good, Bubba? Well, he approaches me and he says this. Yes, this is true, buckle up. "Man, you're not wearing a whole lot of clothing. You're gonna make men stumble." And I said, "Sir, are you saying you're falling head over heels in love with me?" He didn't think that was funny. He said when girls like you wear clothing like that, it's very difficult for boys and men like me to control my thoughts and actions. I said, sir, if you and others can't control your thoughts and actions, you shouldn't be leaving the house because you're a predator.
Stay the night, and I was like, great, I really don't feel like driving home. So we go upstairs. Oh, like for part 2, I'm running out of time.
Part 2 to the Crazy Tilly's customer story. So after she ran out and I went in and I found a bloody tampon on the floor, I was like shook. I was like, what the heck? I mean, life goes on, it's just a tampon, it's gross, but whatever. So we get over it, and 2 days later, she literally comes back in the store, and my manager was like, oh, hell no. So my manager tells her that she has to leave and she's not welcome because of what she did the other day, and she freaks out. So she's verbally fighting with my manager and then throws a punch at her. So we called the mall security. Security comes and she's literally just swinging her arms everywhere and going crazy. So they try to put her in handcuffs, and then she hits one of the cops. So they tased her. And then we never saw her since.
So we go upstairs and I'm standing in the doorway of his bedroom. He was like, you know you can get in the bed, right? He was so sweet. Because I was just standing there frozen in the bed with every single piece of clothing that I wore to his house, minus my shoes. He was like, is that what you're wearing to bed? This is all I have. Because I didn't plan to stay. Like, I was fully prepared to sleep in my socks. And we all know, only psychopaths sleep in socks. Like, you know you don't have to sleep in your belt, right? And when I get nervous, I think I'm so funny and I start cracking jokes to make myself laugh because I'm embarrassed. So I laughed and I was like, I guess I could take off my chastity belt. If that don't kill a mood, I don't know what does, because I made a complete fool of myself, but he still called me back.
Biatches, if you ever want to compliment someone but you just can't find something worth complimenting and you don't want to lie, all that you have to do is make a statement with excitement. One time, I had a teacher come in with very ugly shoes, and all that I did was, oh my god, insert name here, are those shoes new? And she went, yes they are, thank you. Did you see what I did there? It's a scam.
If someone's guessing at our safe word, don't get in their fucking car. I go, how about Priscilla? That's our dog. She goes, are you even thinking? I go, what do you think it should be? She didn't even miss a beat. She goes, how about motherfucker? Think about it, Dad. No one's gonna say motherfucker to a kid. I was like, motherfucker it is, motherfucker. And that was our safe word until I had to change it because I knew I was gonna say it on stage. But one of our friends had to pick him up, Stephen Fromkin. I go, hey, heads up, our safe word's motherfucker. He's like, I can't say that to your kids. I was like, good luck getting Isla home.
Hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. It does help support us, and let's know what videos you guys want to see.